Morning. I just have to say, you guys, I'm not normally like a swimmer. Like I'm one of those like dunk in the pool and then go sit in the sun, and that's how I like to swim. But for whatever reason, the last few days I've been really drawn to actually going down to the pool and exercising in the water. I think there's something about there's so much air energy right now. So because we're in Aquarius, which is the air sign, and so if you're around somewhere where you can swim or take a bath or those kind of things, I think that would probably be very beneficial right now to help your body kind of deal with all of this air energy that's going on. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about the coronavirus. So it's really interesting. I was looking at the message that I'm getting today versus the message from the last couple times that I've done. I did a message on the 27th on Patreon. I actually recorded it on the 26th and put it up on the 27th. And it was about, literally they said, open a window, like open a window. So you'll see how that plays into this message today in a minute. And then I did a YouTube yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, go back and listen to it because it's a message from Jesus and Mary Magdalene about the energy of this virus and some of the things that we can do to help. So that being said, I wanted to come on today. So this morning I'm down in the pool and I'm like, my guides are starting to be chatty again. And they're telling me, like I'm going to come down and do, a video, and it ties into what they've been telling me for a couple weeks now, which is breaking the human condition. And whenever I say that, remember that this is just breaking us out of things that is not good for us, not healthy for us. And I'm like, okay, where is this playing in? So then I'm in the pool. I get out of the pool and I'm in the hot tub and I'm listening to this channel on YouTube, and I will drop the link below. But it was really interesting because he starts talking about the coronavirus, and he's saying how it's actually that we're really selfish and we're not taking care of ourselves, and that we're not having any respect for other people because people are going out sick. And this is where it ties into breaking the human condition, because what are we conditioned to do? We're conditioned to go to work no matter what. Like you suck it up and you go to work, right? And you guys, I'm guilty of this. Back in the day when I worked, I know there was times where I should not have been at work, and I probably knew I was contagious, and I went anyway because we have this idea that we have to be at work. So that's where I feel like today that this breaking the human condition, there's two things that my guides are coming with today, and it's that idea of resisting stillness. Okay, so I know a lot of times when people are sick, they're like, they don't feel good enough to really do anything, but they'll go to the freaking movie or something. That just spreads the virus for everybody else, right? So this whole thing about breaking these things that we're trained in, right? We're trained out of truly having self-care. So one of the best things to do when you're sick is to stay home and nurture yourself and take care of yourself. So it was really interesting to me that his message was like, well, you're being selfish because there's consequences for others if you go out and you're sick. Totally true, right? But I think it's not because anybody's doing it on purpose, but I think it's just because we have this idea that we have to be out, we have to be at work, we have to be doing whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing. This lighting again is driving me crazy. Oh well. So really kind of look into that for yourself. It's such a thing. I'm trying to remember even how to or think about how to even say this, because I remember feeling this way at work. And it even goes in schools, you guys, because kids are like, no, I have to have perfect attendance, right? I know that was one thing that a lot of people I never made my kids even try to strive for perfect attendance, because that sends the wrong message, because that's saying no matter what's going on with you, no matter what, you suck it up and you go to school, or you suck it up and you go to work. And that doesn't give any time to really reflect on yourself of what's going on and nurture yourself for if it's emotions or if it's a sickness or whatever it is, right? So like we've got to break that idea of you just got to do it anyway, because it's not doing anybody any good. If you're forcing yourself to go to work when you're sick, you're spreading it to everybody else. You're not honoring your own body to give yourself time to relax and rest. You're not getting the rest that you need. You're not allowing yourself time to just chill out. So it's all talking about staying healthy. And what was really funny is he said something about that the fresh air, he feels like so this is again what he said in his video, and I'll link it below. He said it's like in closed places, like in the mall and in the airport and in the airplane, like you're in this enclosed place where there's no fresh air. And I kid you not, 2 days or whatever, I don't know what day this is, on the 26th, the message was open the windows. Like literally it said, Rest, water, vibrant food, and clean air will help. Open windows to allow the breeze to help cleanse and clear your space. So that was from two totally separate messages. So I'm just saying this is like another confirmation when I was listening to that this morning, that it's really good. So the other thing is, I know this has a lot to do with like the way that we're changing, right? You may have been hearing like 3D versus 5D and how we're moving into this 5D thing. And this kind of gets a little bit into the more of the woo-woo side of it about how we're consciously awakening and how we're learning to do things differently and breaking these patterns that we have that are not healthy. Like going to work sick is not a healthy pattern. Or going to school is not a healthy pattern if you're sick. So Amanda Ellis actually about a year ago, I think, said something about new viruses coming in. And Sky actually said in his video as well that it's a new virus. So all of this makes sense. Okay, so I just want to, and really quick, just for fun, it was funny because he's talking, I don't do Chinese astrology. I don't know much about it, but he was talking about like the rats, because this is in Chinese astrology, the year of the rat. And the first thing that I got in my mind, because Sky's talking about making sure you wash your hands and when you're in public areas, like wear the mask or whatever. And it was so funny because what popped in my head when he said that was the rat from Charlotte's Web, right? Like Templeton. And I remember him saying it was a rat's paradise because there was just crap and junk everywhere, right? And so think of that. Like the more you're out in public, the more you're exposed to where people haven't washed their hands and where they haven't, all of these kind of things. So just being said, like, again, you guys, this isn't about spreading any kind of fear, but it's about understanding it, knowing that if we stay in high vibe, we're going to be more apt to, one, not get the virus, or two, if we get the virus, it's not going to be bad because we're going to be the ones that take care of ourselves. If we do get sick, stay home. Do the things, the orange juice, chicken soup, you know what I mean? Like do all of those things that to keep you healthy. And I went into that a lot more on the video yesterday. So if you want to go back to that one, you can. But it's interesting because I thought, okay, I want to bring a little bit more to this. So today I thought I'm going to sit down and I'm going to pull cards because again, like I said, my guys have been really chatty. So I'm like, okay, let's pull some cards on this and see what comes up. Making choices is the first card. And you guys, this is Colette Baron Reed's Enchanted Map. When I looked at it, it was like, this is a choice. If you're sick, stay home or go out. There's two choices. It shows in this card two options, right? So you are supposed to start making conscious choices, which is what I wrote down on the sticky note. Because I'm like, okay, I see right now, this is helping us learn to start making conscious choices about what we're doing. So really interesting. Okay. So start being aware of the choices that you're making and why you're making them. Like if you're sitting there telling yourself, I got to go to work, why? Like I can guarantee you the world's not going to fall apart if you don't go to work when you have a sickness. And it really is in your best interest to rest because you'll heal quicker and it's better for everybody else because you're not exposing them to whatever it is that you have. Okay. Now, of course, there's some things that, if it's allergies or whatever, if you can go to work, but if you know that you're contagious, don't go. Like call in, do something from remote or whatever you can do. One of the other things that just popped in my head is a lot of times we hear, I can't afford it. Okay. I understand that, but that's such a limiting belief. And so if you're in that space, then I'm going to encourage you to go into my Facebook challenge and start doing the Embodied Grace Challenge so that you can get past that idea, because abundance is just about the belief that you have about it. Okay. So it's just learning to rethink about money. Okay. So I'm not going to go into that here, but the challenge is there if you want it. And it's free. So the second card I got, look at this. Can you guys see it? Solitude. And what I heard about this is that a lot of people don't want to be in the solitude because it makes them have to think about themselves. And so people sometimes, they stay busy to stay distracted. So, but what was interesting when I looked in this card, guess what word came back up? Conscious. Being conscious of what you're doing. So it says, allow stillness and use this time as a conscious retreat. So if you don't feel good, again, use that time to nurture yourself. Be conscious about what you're doing. Set yourself up to rest as well as you can during the day. Find a good movie. Stay in bed. Drink all the broth and the juice and all of the things. Take the vitamins that you know you need to take. All of those things are really, really valid. And then to wrap it up, I love my guides because they're so fun. They said joyous, right? So peaks of joy. And so when this card came up, they were reminding me, and this goes back to the reading yesterday, I think it was, where it was all about kind of mindset. We have to remember that life is hopeful and that joy is contagious. I'm not even kidding you guys. That's the word that they said. Joy is contagious. So if you're starting to feel yourself getting caught in the fear, be conscious of that. Change what you're thinking about and return to joy. Because if you're joyful, it's contagious and you can spread joy to others. The more we stay in joy, the higher vibration we're in, the less likely we are to get sick. Okay.